We are live. We have no flame. There we go. We need flame. 1:30. I'm not used to doing these at 1:30. Can you tell? Let's get that started. I think we're angled a little down as well, so we'll get that squared away. Can't even see the top of my hat with all my pins. What the heck? That's not fair. Anyway, so what are we going to do? Well, perhaps I should explain to you why we're going live at 1:30 today to start with, and why the music isn't quite the usual music that we are playing. So the music that you're hearing is from Gaelic Storm, which is our absolute favorite band. How did that not light? And they are playing tonight at the Birchmere, which is an awesome show. We never miss them when they come to the Birchmere. No, I'm not going to breathe fire. We'll set this here. And as a consequence, since I can't actually do a broadcast from the Birchmere, we're going to do it from here. So we're going to do it from here, and we're going to do it early, like 6 hours early, which, as I can tell, is apparently way too early for most of you people because there's nobody online.
Hi, we've been busy.
Star's online.
I'm online.
Yep, she's watching.
Yeah. Well, Amanda's down at Fest, Pride Fest.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pride stuff going on,
yeah.
And so yeah, that's not. So that's interfering with the day. But look, we got. You can actually see the bottom here of our pufferfish, who we rediscovered the name for our pufferfish. It's Beauregard. Mr. Beauregard. Yes, that would be the name of our pufferfish. We have no name for.
The octopus.
The octopus, the bony octopus dude over here, who's just still cute. It is Pride weekend. It's Pride month. The whole concept that people that are queer in some way, shape, or form shouldn't be active, functioning members of society and should be hidden away is a shibboleth that should be done away with. And so here is
some shibboleth rum.
Shibboleth rum from Foursquare. So this is actually one of my favorites of the Foursquare Exceptional Cask series. The shibboleth, this rocks in at 56%, so a little on the hot side, but not too bad. Aged 16 years, pot and column blend, ex-bourbon cask. 16 years worth of this stuff, which is longer than I've been at work at IDA.
Yeah.
But not by a whole lot. Yeah. Sort of a nutty sense to it, smell to it.
Yeah. And for those that
and barrel,
somehow, where's my little straw?
Your little straw.
What little straw?
What little straw?
We have our little Pride straws.
Oh, we have Pride straws. Yep.
From Surfside Sips.
I have longer arms. See, Pride straws.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, we're part of the GLBTQIA plus community. So, happy Pride.
GLBTQ plus IAR73-2.
I'm old, I can't keep up, but, you know, I love y'all. So. I had a really cool bracelet that I made at Pride and Pancakes yesterday that said Hot by Babe.
And it got stolen.
And it got stolen because Peg fell in love with it.
Right.
So, she
by another by Babe.
Yeah, so she acquired it.
Yep. Wow, this has a very bourbony flavor to it, especially because so much of the flavor is coming off of the casking. Not the fact that it's an ex-bourbon cask, just 16 years in cask.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So
we've been busy this morning. We have rehung the lobster pot.
Outside.
We have covered the gaming shelves, changed the lights, and moved the furniture in realm for the tiki party.
Yep.
We have moved Pooch's work from home desk upstairs 2 flights.
Yep.
So
all done with me with a bum shoulder.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
so we had to.
But obviously, my leg is feeling better, and I'm really happy about that.
Well, it was feeling better through today. We'll see how it does tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
You might want to run upstairs and get ice while you're watching this show. So, every year for Pride, friends of ours throw a Pride and Pancakes party. Okay, not every year, because there's sometimes COVID happens. But we did, in fact, have a party yesterday for Pride and Pancakes. And what is traditionally done at Pride and Pancakes is everybody comes, and everybody has brunch of some sort and has all sorts of brunchy cocktails.
We have a Cheryl.
And then folks run off to the Pride Parade, or they run off back home to do various other things, which got me to thinking that we should probably do brunch drinks for today, especially since we had to scooch this down toward the 1:30 time span. Now, when you think sort of prototypical of your brunch drinks, it's usually thinking the drink that I'm not going to do for you today. I was going to say this evening, which is the Bloody Mary. Star's okay with Bloody Marys. I really don't like the tomato juice in the Bloody Marys. I'm not a big believer in vodka, and near as I can tell, making a Bloody Mary with anything other than vodka or gin is really nasty. So yeah, we're not going to do Bloody Marys for you this evening. If you want to do a Bloody Mary, you're looking vodka, Tabasco, Worcestershire, and either Clamato or tomato juice. One tip here is if you're not just building it in the glass, you should actually roll it with ice as opposed to shaking it. If you shake it, the tomato juice, which still has pectin in it, will in fact kind of seize up and clump up on you, and it's really nasty. Don't do that. That'll mess up your drinks totally. Don't do that. And then usually they get garnished with all sorts of foofy things, including celery sticks and haunches of beef and weird other things. I don't know. I don't know what the fascination is. It's like tiki garnishing, except for, like, I don't know, for savory food eaters. I just don't understand. But we're not going to be doing Bloody Marys. So the other prototypical brunch drink would be the mimosa. So we are going to do some mimosas. And the mimosa is really simple. Look, if you want to do mimosas for a big brunch party, it's really easy. You put out your orange juice. You might want to put out some other juices as well. And you put out some vodka. The traditional way of making a mimosa is 2-to-1 juice to alcohol of some sort, whatever the alcohol is. And the juice is up to you. A typical mimosa is orange juice, but you could do pineapple juice. You could do orange and pineapple juice. You could do grapefruit juice. If you do grapefruit juice, it's called a salty dog. We're going to do a salty dog today. We're going to do a standard mimosa as well. It is also traditional to add like a splash of triple sec if you want to, but those proportions are all entirely up to you and entirely up to your guests. So you can just stack some bottles of champagne out there, some bottles of fruit juice, and away you go, and let everybody do whatever they want to do for their mimosas. So we are going to do for Star a standard mimosa with a little triple sec added to it, I think. Especially if you can find me my triple sec.
Okay.
But we might not if we can't find the triple sec. Looking for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with that. I like a little bit of ice in mine, and you can use a champagne flute for it if you want to. We are not going to do that. We are actually going to use our goblet glasses like this, because I think these are just astronomically good glasses for brunch drinks. Now, I should explain. Or any orange liqueur will be fine. Kirkland American vodka. Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? Right. Yeah. Oh, brunch drinks in general. So brunch drinks generally come in. What we have a cat mouthing off. What's the matter? What's the deal? Dunder decided he needed to be entered into this discussion. Maybe he doesn't like vodka. Good kitty. So in general, lower ABV format, sometimes much lighter, so you're talking not heavy brown spirits for the most part, hence vodka shows up in a lot of them. They tend to have some fruit juice or of some sort in them, usually simple because, well, it's the morning after and you're not really conscious and you don't want to be mixing 11 ingredients together. The other option that you can go with brunch drinks is the traditional hair of the dog cocktails, and these are sort of the like Corpse Reviver, the entire series of Corpse Reviver drinks, which are intended to be a smaller format, but give you a quick punch of alcohol and get you right back going for the rest of the day. I kind of prefer for my brunch drinks to be a little lighter in the ABV, just because you're starting to drink earlier in the day and you don't know where the day is going to go. So you kind of want to take it a little easy there. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a standard salty dog.
I'm failing.
She's failing. Oh no, no triple sec. Okay, that's not a problem because we have orange curacao. Oh, I know. If you go to the Lion Rum on the shelf there is a bottle of orange curacao, sample bottle of their orange curacao, and we'll use that.
That's right.
The things we do, right? Okay, so we're going to do a salty dog over here, and we are going to do a standard mimosa over here, if that's what Star wants. I was going to just go orange juice and vodka. Excuse me, not vodka. What am I doing? That's a
screwdriver.
That's a screwdriver. Scratch that. Why do I need vodka?
I don't know.
I don't need vodka. I'm thinking screwdrivers. 1:30 is a bad time for me to be mixing drinks, apparently. No, I just sent my wife after vodka, which we don't need, thankfully. It's going to be made with champagne. Right, orange juice and champagne. Orange juice and champagne is a mimosa with some triple sec added to it, or some orange curacao.
I wasn't sure what the salty dog was.
Right. You can do the salty dog the exact same way, which is what we're going to do here. I'm going to take a little orange curacao. We're going to put some ice in both of these glasses. So we are prepping a little bit for the party that's coming up, and wouldn't you know it, our chest freezer seems to have died. Just perfect timing there. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to go with 2 ounces of grapefruit juice. That just goes in there. And then we're going to go 2 ounces of orange juice over there. And obviously, if you're throwing a great big party, you can just use, Minute Maid or whatever orange juice you want. This is actually fresh squeezed. If you are fresh squeezing oranges for a party where you're serving mimosas, I hope you have labor available to you, or one of those great big machines that squeezes gazillions of oranges, because it'll take a while and your arms will fall off and it'll be bad. Okay, I'm just going to go with a 1/4 ounce here of the orange curacao. I'm going to do that in both. There we are. This is orange curacao from Lion Distilling, which is now called, well, for their rum, they're still Lion Distilling. For, I think, everything else, they're going by Winden. Yeah, Winden Distilling. So this is what the bottle looks like. Yep. Brought to us by our friends David and Chris, who happened to visit them. And then visited us. Okay, so if we're going 2 to 1, then that would mean we would want 4 ounces of champagne, or in this case, we're going to go with Prosecco. And I'm going to start with 2 ounces in the Mimosa. And then go 2 ounces in the Salty Dog. Turns out I'm going to need another bottle of Prosecco to do this. Great. Okay.
He says salty dog.
All right. Well, it's my bottle of Prosecco. So we're going to close that up. And we're going to run to the back. That awful moment of saying, I know where they are, and then looking in the refrigerator and going, oh wait, did I take them back upstairs? Oh no. Because we usually keep these guys upstairs, and we keep the big bottles downstairs. But that's not the case. They are where they were supposed to be. And once again, we are going to have fun. There we go. Fortunately, in the fridge, so they are cold. You can also do the salty dog with ruby red grapefruit juice. Not going to kill you. Actually, probably be quite nice. I'm going to garnish these. And we're just going to reach over and do Stick an orange slice there. Same thing, do an orange slice there. Stick some form of stirry thing in there. Stir that up. Stir that up. Like I said, you can play around with these measurements as much as you want for these particular cocktails. Cheers. That's an extravagantly good mimosa. And here we have the salty dog. Definitely more my drink than hers. So, do you want to taste the salty dog?
Yeah.
Okay. But light, refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you wanted to, you can add pineapple juice, mango, guava. There's a pineapple orange guava juice from Hawaii called Hog that would make a wondrous mimosa. You want to freshen these up, drop some mint in them, whatever you want to do. These go down easy. They go down quick. They aren't going to weigh you down. Like yesterday, we were having mimosas at the picnic, and it wavered between dripping rain on us and being kind of hot and sweaty, and the mimosa was a perfect drink for that.
Yeah, yep. They had many different juices set out. Yeah.
You do have to be a little careful with some of the juices because they are different densities, the mango in particular.
So some need a lot of stirring.
Right, you'll have to keep stirring the mango in order to keep it mixed together. So there you go. There's sort of the prototypical, I think, brunch drink, which is some variation on the mimosa. If you like it sweeter, you can add a little syrup to it. You could add a little more of your curacao or triple sec if you want a little more orange flavor to it. Whatever you'd like to do. If you want it spiked a little bit, you can go with vodka, you can go with gin, you can even go with rum to spike it up a bit. You're changing the cocktail. It's not a true mimosa at that point, but there's certainly no reason why you couldn't do that if you wanted to. So I could upend my really expensive shibboleth into this and be really sad because the shibboleth is too good to mix with. So there you go. There's our first cocktail for the day. The mimosa or the salty dog done with Prosecco. And I actually really like the Prosecco instead of the champagne. I find champagne a little overly bubbly and it tends to take over the flavor of the cocktail. I like the Prosecco. I think it just works. This is essentially kind of a variation on a spritz. If this is too much alcohol for you, you can go ahead and just add some club soda to this. Lengthen it out a little bit and be fine. Or if you want to add a little something just to liven this up a bit. That's the other thing you could do with a mimosa bar is just take and set out a couple of your bitters or a whole mess of your bitters and let people play with them and what they like in their cocktail. So what did I do? I just did a couple of dashes of orange bitters and a couple of dashes of magnolia bitters. And then we're going to give that a stir. Just to give it just a tinge more flavor. And there you go. You have an upscale mimosa salty dog thing. Oh, now that. I like that. Star should try this one. I think she'd actually like that. There's a little bit of bitters. Like there's 4 dashes of bitters in there. Bang. The drink is changed. The drink is different. Really, really good. So there you go. There's my tip for mimosas and mimosa bars. Put out plenty of juice. Have a little bit of vodka on hand or some other spirit in order to kick it up a notch if you want. And lay out a whole bunch of your bitters and let people play around with bitters in their cocktails and see what they like. Who knows? Maybe you'll drive up the cocktail bitters business, which needs help. No, it doesn't. No, there's so many bitters out there right now. Okay, so there you go. All of this came about because most of this came about because of today being, this weekend being Pride and June being Pride Month. So I thought I should do a drink for Pride. And as it turns out, one of our local distillers, Don Chichi Fili, who produces a wonderful range of Amaros, decided that they wanted to do something for Pride. And so they put out a new liqueur for us, us folk, and this is their Tutti Frutti liqueur. And while I know you can't see it, but it's got sparkly edible glitter in here, and it's kind of a pink color. So, we do have orange lighting here, which is going to disrupt things just a bit, but yeah, it's very cool. If you, she's going to shine a light behind this, and you get to see the sparklies. Yeah, see the sparkles? Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Isn't that pretty?
So I thought we would do a brunch drink using the Tutti Frutti as sort of the sweetener for it, because this is... Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this is 15%. Yeah, so it's barely alcohol, which to my mind means there's probably a lot of sugar in that. Isn't that yum?
That is better.
Yeah. She's like, it's got grapefruit in it.
And thanks to my birthday twin
for
getting into the district to pick that up for me.
Thank you.
They Don Chichi Filio's only open Saturdays.
So we weren't going to make
it. And we weren't going to make it. So.
Yeah. So, all right. So what are we going to do with this? We're going to use this as our sweetener. We're going to go with a little bit of lemon juice. We're going to go with a little bit of gin and a little bit of Prosecco. In essence, what I'm going to be doing is a French 75, modifying this. Now, brunch the day after, or cocktails the day after a major Pride event. Look, a lot of folk that we know go to the Pride Parade. They party into the night. They get a little hammered. You know what happens. Things happen. The next day is, the walk of shame home, right? But we're not going with that because it's Pride. So this isn't the walk of shame. This is going to be the walk of Pride drinks. This is the walk of Pride. No shame involved. So what are we going to do? How are we going to make this? I need to put this in a glass. What kind of glass should I did put it in a coupe earlier, and I think that worked out okay. So let's try that. Here is a coupe. I do want to stir some of the ingredients together, pour them into the coupe, and then do the Prosecco on top of that. So let's do this. Let's drop some ice in that coupe. There. And then we're going to get a mixing pint, mixing tin, mixing glass. That's what I'm looking for. Mixing whatever this material is here. We are going to go with a ½ ounce of Tutti Frutti. ½ ounce. There we go. It's very pretty. It is. It's very pretty. We're going to go with a ½ ounce of lemon juice. And truth be told, this is not entirely lemon juice. This is lemon with a little bit of lime in it, because I had a lime that needed to be used up. So it went in there. There we go. Now, if you really wanted the pink sparkly colors here to come out, you could clarify your lemon juice, and it would be crystal clear and wouldn't add any cloudiness to it. But obviously, my lemon juice has some yellow color to it, and as a consequence, it's opaque, and so you're not going to see through it quite as well. Next up, a ½ ounce of gin. I'm going to go with Empress Gin, just because I think the color effect that it has is cool and is just really nice for this particular cocktail. So we are going to go a ½ ounce. So this is a dark blue, dark purple liquor, spirit, gin in the bottle. And once you add it to anything that's got any kind of acid base to it, it actually changes color into a pink, which is only going to accentuate the pinkness of this particular cocktail. All right, so there we go. Like that. Throw some ice in here. We're going to stir that. Well, that's special. Let's do that. Okay. Walk of Pride. So I was very happy with this thing. Instead of the Walk of Shame the next day, the Walk of Pride. Yeah. Well, Pride's a crazy time. The ice is moving pretty easily there, which means it's pretty well diluted. We're going to toss this ice back in here. This glass is now nice and cold. We're going to grab a strainer. We're going to use the julep strainer. This just goes right in there. You can't see it, but the sparklies are very pretty. And then we are going to add Prosecco. Nice cold Prosecco. I'm going to go with 1 ounce and see where we are. Ideally, I'd like 3 ounces in here, but we may have a little too much other... Oh, maybe. We'll see. How we doing? Can I get the 3rd ounce in? Well, I can if I spill it all over my fingers. How's that? It's very pretty. There's a sheen across the top here that is just glittery and gorgeous. Very nice, very nice. So this is the Walk of Pride. Star, I think that that is an improvement over the previous version of this.
Excellent.
I think you will like this a lot. Yep. Now, I will say the Tutti Frutti, there's a little bit of the medicinal strawberry, artificial strawberry flavor, and a little bit of the like bubblegum ice cream flavor to it, which is a little hard to work with for a cocktail.
But it's pink and glittery.
It's pink and glittery and tastes like bubblegum. It's a pride drink, totally.
Oh, much improved.
I know, right?
Ah.
Yep, yeah. So there you go. There we have.
Often before the broadcast, I taste a rendition or two of the drinks that
trial version, as it were. And the first one was good. The advantages here are this is colder.
Yeah.
Has a little more dilution because of the fruits in here.
And it's fresh lemon juice.
Yes, it's actually fresh lemon juice. I used lemon juice from, don't hate on me, from last week's broadcast in her test.
When you're testing, you're getting the general.
Right. You get the general impression of it. But yeah, that's light. It's refreshing. There is a half ounce of gin and 3 ounces of Prosecco in that. That is a light, easy to drink beverage. You could easily garnish that up however you would like. Oh, I probably should have done something with that because, I have.
Oh, you have garnishing.
You could have spritz of the
lime here.
Put that in there if you wanted to do that. I could do it here. We've got orange peel here. Yeah, I know, it's very strange. We're doing cocktails with Gaelic Storm in the background, but it's okay.
So for those
here's to Gaelic Storm, by the way.
Gaelic Storm.
There are folks that don't know the story.
Yeah.
So many moons ago, after Star and I had known each other for 10 years, we met as undergrads, or at least I was an undergrad. I think she was still an undergrad.
Barely, yeah.
Barely. So we met at Northwestern, and after 10 years of that, we ended up at a friend's wedding, and the night before the wedding, at
her bachelorette
party, we went to a little bar in, I think it was Ventura. Santa Monica?
Yeah.
Okay. And the local band was playing.
The pub band.
The pub band, which was Patrick and Steve.
Yeah.
Right? And so they played great Irish tunes. We had a wonderful time.
We had our first kiss.
We had our first kiss. We sipped on some Baileys.
Yeah.
We listened to some great music.
And that's when we started dating.
And that band those guys went on to become the band known as Gaelic Storm. And we saw them on like a morning TV show, and then we saw them on getting credits in Titanic. Right? They're the steerage band in Titanic.
Yeah. We've seen them at Irish Fests.
We've seen them at various
and they play Birchmere every year here.
And so they've become our band, and
6
years ago,
I got me this.
Yeah, I proposed to her during intermission at a Gaelic Storm band show at Birchmere, and I don't think we've missed a Gaelic Storm show at Birchmere ever since. I'm not sure we missed one prior to that either,
I don't think we did.
There's just
There were
something about
sometimes when they did 2 nights, we only went to one.
Sometimes. We've been known to make both. Yep. There you go. There's The Rock. There's The Rock. No relation to The Rock from WWE. Okay, so I'm going to go in an entirely different direction for the last drink that we're going to do. My goodness, we're only 35 minutes into this episode. Wow, we're just been blowing through.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not doing 16 different ingredients for a cocktail. So this is another Pacucci original, or Lovecraft Cocktails original. I wanted to go with the brunch theme for the cocktails. I'm not particularly sure how this one's going to turn out, so you're just going to have to bear with me, and we're going to have to give it a try and see how things go. We are going to shake this one. So here we go. Plastic. Usually when dads are making brunch, right? Dads make French toast, dads make waffles, dad makes pancakes, right? What do you put on all of those? You put maple syrup on them. Okay, well, maple syrup is it's not an uncommon ingredient, actually, in cocktails as the sweetener. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with a ½ ounce of maple syrup. Here we're using Red Lake Nation Memories from Minnesota's Northwoods. No preservatives. We're going to go ½ ounce of maple syrup. There we go. In that goes. Juices are always a thing, right? Juices are definitely always a thing when fathers do brunch. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of orange juice, because you need orange juice, right, for breakfast. So we're going to do a ½ ounce of orange juice. Dad can be a little funny about things that he wants to set out. He always does something special, right? So this time we're going to do a little pineapple juice. Maybe left over from the tiki party that Dad threw last night. How's that? Oh, geez, I'm so unprepared for this. Turns out I do need something else from the back room. I'm going to need the Mr. Black. Making sure that the wife gets movement here, right? So we're going to go ½ ounce of pineapple juice as well. We're going to drip all over the table here.
Thanks.
There we go. Also, I happen to know that Star really loves pineapple juice, and so there's this can of pineapple juice that's been barely opened, and she's going to love drinking that, so that's not a problem. Okay, so now we have, we've got the pancakes, pancakey stuff, we've got the juices.
There is a new Mr. Black we don't have yet.
Oh, there is.
Which is on Mr. Black and a rum cask.
Yeah, we're going to so totally need that. We will need to do that. What else? So it wouldn't be breakfast without bacon, right? Bacon, smoky, cured, yummy stuff. So how are we going to simulate that? Well, we're going to go reach for Mularkey's Smokehouse Whiskey because, well, it's smoky. It tastes like cured bacon or smoked pork. It's just yummy. So we're going to go with 1½ ounces of the Mularkey Smokehouse. Mularkey is also a local distiller. You can get their stuff at Virginia ABC stores. Sometimes it's a little hard to find, particularly this smokehouse, but the last couple of times we've been able to find it, so good stuff. We always tend to keep a couple of bottles on hand because we like it and we don't ever want to lose the ability to have it. It also makes an exceptional base for barbecue sauce, but yeah, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Okay, so we got bacon, we got pancakes and waffles. What else? You need eggs. Gotta have eggs, right? So what are we going to do for eggs? Well, we're going to use eggs. That's what we're going to do. We are going to actually use an egg white for this. And I need to find something to crack this on. So here we go. We're going to put the egg white in here. The yolk goes back in there. Come on, egg white. Come on, egg white. Here, we'll try that again. Okay, that looks a little better. Come on. Come on. You can go in there. All right, so we're just going to do it this way. Into the hands we go. Just be a little careful here so you don't break the yolk. The yolk can go in there. Wash of the hands, raw egg. I should be keeping up the discussion while I'm washing my hands, but I'm not. I'm just not that coordinated. Okay. So, once again, I am going to rely upon my standard technique, which is I am going to go ahead and add ice to this and shake this while it's cold. And then we're going to back off, strain out the ice, and do a dry shake. So this is called a reverse dry shake. Traditionally, drinks with egg whites were done with a dry shake first, and then ice is added to it. Now here's a couple of things that I find. One, when you add the ice to it the second time around, for the second shake, that ice will actually puncture some of the foam and break down some of the foam. So you don't get as nice a head on your cocktail. Two, if you shake this first without ice, you are doing an entirely dry shake. It's not cold, and therefore you have to be much more careful about holding your canister together. Whereas if you do it with ice first, then it does create a little bit of suction, pulls these two pieces together because it literally causes the air in here to get colder, which, basic high school chemistry, the gas law, this actually contracts, right? Creates pressure in here. Actually subtracts pressure in here, which pulls the two together. So it doesn't tend to go everywhere. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the reverse dry shake here. So we've got a fair amount of dilution in here, and this is super cold at the moment. And then we want to strain out the ice. So we're going to grab this here, strain this back in. And then we're going to toss the ice. There's still a little ice in here. I'm not going to worry about it. You can tell we've got a little bit of a head on that, but I would like a little more than that. I am going to stick a straw in here and taste this. Give me an idea of how this is tasting, whether or not I've done this well. It tastes like breakfast. It's so funny. Oh man, it tastes like breakfast. I love that. I'm going to take one of these. Have you seen one of these before? So this is, you find this in like protein powder shake bottles and that sort of thing. It's designed to agitate and just make your drink, it helps combine the ingredients. Throwing one of those in here or taking the strainer off of your Hawthorne and throwing it in will also increase the aeration in your cocktail. Now, I don't have to worry too much about this because it's cold. Again, it's going to bring this together and it's not going to blow apart on me, which is really nice. I'm still going to be a little careful. Still getting a little leaking. That's kind of surprising. Alright, that goes in there. And then we are going to strain this into a glass. So what are we going to strain this into? Traditionally, you go with a coupe for something like this. It doesn't feel like a coupe is the right thing here.
No.
Goblet?
Yeah.
Do one of these?
Yeah.
I'll do one of those. All right. So There's still probably some ice in here. I'm just holding this as far back as I can. So any major chunks are going to stay in there. There is a beautiful little cocktail. Thick and rich, kind of like the batter your dad uses for his waffles, right? I'm not drinking my mimosa. I know what you're saying. You were saying, hey, Pooch, you sent your wife to the back room to get Mr. Black, and you didn't put any Mr. Black in here. First of all, let's all recognize the fact that even though it sounds really strange, coffee and pineapple go really well together in cocktails. They just do. And that's what we're going to do here, because remember, there's pineapple juice in this, but there's not currently coffee. You can't have breakfast without coffee, right?
Right.
So we're going to take the Mr. Black, and if this works, which, oh man, I please hope this works. I'm going to take this glass, different glass. Nope, that's the one with the egg white in it. We don't want to use that. We're just going to pour a little bit of Mr. Black in here. Like, what are you going to do with the Mr. Black? Okay. So you've seen, almost assuredly, people use bitters. They'll do a couple of dashes of bitters on top of something, and then they'll draw designs with the bitters. Well, we're going to do that with the Mr. Black. And if I'm right, the foam will be enough to keep a couple of dashes of the Mr. Black on top. And we can draw some lines through these guys and make it a little pretty. I can go in there. I'm going to take the back end of the spoon. I'm just going to go zoop, 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 zoop. Very, very pretty. It looks like a little clover leaf or something in there. I can do a couple more dots in the middle. Right there. You don't want much because the Mr. Black will overpower this particular cocktail. But there you have it. You have the pancake edition of this, which is coming from the maple syrup, and the sort of foamy, thick, battery nature of this. You've got egg from the egg white. You've got bacon from the smokehouse. You've got your fruit juices. If you really wanted to spike this up, I suppose you could add the hash browns by putting in a potato vodka, but I'm not going to. So here we go. This is a little cocktail that, if it works out, if this tastes the way I think it is, it does. I'm going to call this Brunch with Dad. This is a Lovecraft Originals. Want to try that? Oh. I love that look.
That is brunch.
That's brunch.
Oh my God! That is brunch in a glass.
It's the. What is? Okay, you know that you've eaten everything off your plate, but like that last little bit of pancake, there's maple syrup. And it's been
and your bacon the egg yolk, and
the bacon has been soaking in it.
And you just like scoop everything else off the plate.
In one fork and just shove it in your mouth, and this is the last taste of brunch.
Is that alcoholic?
Yeah, it actually is.
It doesn't taste alcoholic. The smokehouse and the Mr. Black.
Yeah, so the smokehouse is 45% alcohol. There's only an ounce and a half of it in there.
You don't actually want this, do you?
I'm not getting any, so I don't know.
Another sip.
It's all right. I've got this over here. I've got my salty dog that I'm working with.
Wow.
Right there. So there you go. There's 3 brunch drinks. So there's 2 specific brunch drinks, right? We've got the brand new Brunch with Dad. We've got the Walk of Pride, which disappeared entirely. And then we have that line of mimosa, salty dog kinds of things. And there you go. If you need to sweeten anything up, you can always use, just plain old ordinary simple syrup. You could. I wasn't sure whether the Walk of Pride needed to be slightly sweeter, And so I dug out the strawberry syrup that we have here. I was also thinking that maybe the rose syrup would be a nice addition to that as a possibility. For those of you that like your mimosas, your salty dogs, a little on the sweet side, just setting out a little bit of syrup on the table of whatever type, not maple syrup necessarily, like your various cocktail syrups, I think would go a long way. But again, I really like the idea of just adding the bitters out there on the table and letting people add bitters to their cocktail and learn what bitters are about and why they might want to add them to their cocktails. So there you go. Sorry that we had to do this early in the day, but we're not going to miss a Gaelic Storm concert. And we still have some work that we have to do around here. So I think we're actually going to clock in a little under time for the day. We have to go shopping for a new chest freezer or something along those lines at some point. So that'll happen. And we have to finish doing the decorating here. So what do you think? What do you think of the lighting? I've got enough lighting here that I can work with for making cocktails and the like, but it's still got a little bit of the mood lighting. Oh, I don't have the... Oh, man, we totally forgot to do... How did I forget this? Right? Oh, we didn't have the star sign going. We didn't have...
No, star sign was on.
Star sign was on? Okay, so we didn't have these guys going, right? Okay. We didn't have the lighting over here, the glow lights. This is what I get for doing it at 1:30. You take me out of my rhythm, and I suddenly don't know what we're doing. That won't work because that lamp isn't plugged in. So hitting this on switch won't do me any good. We'll do with that.
He says lighting looks good.
So there you go. We've now added to all of the things that we have to do this weekend in preparation for next weekend, because now we've got to clean up a whole bunch of glassware. But we are going to do that anyway, because we always do. And rather than me babble for a little further, I think we're just going to go ahead and call it quits, I think. Adios, goodbye, make some daggone good cocktails. Still don't like it. I mean, it's cute, but it's just not... it doesn't have the punch.
See you next week with the aftermath.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so next week is going to be the aftermath of the party. Things we have learned from the party. All right, adios, my friends. This is Lovecraft Cocktails. Gooch and Star signing off for yet another week. This has been Quarantiki number 112 Brunch Cocktails. No, that's not 112 brunch cocktails. We'd be here all night doing that. Although, you know, with all the juices and stuff, you'd probably have 112 brunch cocktails right here that you could do. All right. There we go, my friends. Bye. See you next week when we face the aftermath of the summer tiki party.